What should you do when you realize that a person is building on your land? Should you allow the person to keep building? The answer is no. Now, there's a principle of law that is known as quick quid plantator. Solo said it. So what it means is that a person who owns a particular land owns everything on the land, both the improvements or anything affixed on that land. So if you own a land, if you have a tree, if there's a tree on that land, it invariably means you own the tree. If there's a house on the land, it means you invariably own the land. So having established this fact, then what should you do when someone builds or is building on your land? First thing you should do is that show some form of resistance. Do not allow the person to continue in his error. Show some form of resistance. It could be by warning the person. You can go there to warn the person. You can report the person to law enforcement agencies or even to your village chiefs. But ensure you've shown resistance. Inform the person that you own that property. That's the first thing you should do. And the person should persist even after informing the person that you own the property, and the person decide to continue building on your land. Then you can take up the matter to court. Now, this is what the court will do. If luckily for you, the person continue building on that land and eventually completes the building when the matter got to court, the court would rule in your favor because he who owns the land owns everything on it. And because you took steps to warn the person not to keep building on that land, the court would rule in your favor. So it automatically means that since you've taken adequate steps to notify the person, yet the person decides to continue in error, you don't just own the land, you equally own that building the person erected on that land, in line with the principle of law that quid plantator, solo said it. Okay, but the important thing is that ensure you notify the person, ensure you show some form of resistance. People go as far as destroying some of the properties on the land just to show that they own the land. Let's say, for instance, the person builds a fence. The real landowner might go there and destroy that fence to show that they are the real owners of the property. Some might go to the extent of destroying some of the buildings on the property, and nothing would happen because they are the owner of the property. You cannot come into a person's land and start erecting a structure. If you don't show any form of resistance, this is what would happen. Just because you are accustomed with the principle of law that says that anyone who owns a land owns everything on it, you now decide to allow an innocent party to erroneously build on your land, so that after building you can now go to court and claim the property for yourself as well as the building on it. The law would say no. The law will not allow you benefit from your own fraud. The law won't do that. If you should wait for the person to complete the building without informing the person and then goes back to court to plead to the court to grant you the ownership of that property, the court will say no. Reason being that you want to benefit from your own fraud, and reason being that you saw the mistake happening on your land and yet you decide to sleep on it. By not showing some form of resistance, you've waived your right. That's what the courts would hold. Once you see someone building on your land, first thing you should do, show some form of resistance, report the person to village chiefs, to the law enforcement agencies, to the relevant governmental parastatals. Even go to that property, go to the property and see if you can stop the construction. Then if the person refuses, you can go to court and then get judgment in your favor. And if unluckily for the person have completed the building before you go to court, it means that both the building and the land automatically become yours, because it is in line with the principle of law that says he who owns a land owns the building on that land. But if you realizing that the person is building on your land and you allow the person to keep building so that you claim the property on the land, then the law won't come to your rescue because you've waived your right. You saw an error happening on your property and yet you decide to waive your rights by not doing the necessary things, which includes informing the person, trying to resist, to show some form of resistance, as the case may be. All right. So my name is Isaac Okeke. I'm a property lawyer and a real estate entrepreneur who uses the machinery of the law as a tool to safeguard the interest of my clients. See you when I see you again. Bye bye.